Excellent. Well, welcome everybody to the Summer at CIP family webinar. We are happy to have you here. I'm extremely excited to have your students joining us this summer, and we're about to talk all about what that's going to look like. We're very excited to be hosting it at the Great Wolf Lodge this year, which is a little different for us, but very exciting to have a change of pace and be in that environment. So as we go through today, please save your questions or put your questions in the chat and we will get to those. But without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself and introduce our summer program coordinator. And we'll be kind of toggling back and forth here in our presentation for you today. So my name is Crystal Hayes. I'm the program director at CIP Long Beach. A little bit of background on myself. I've been here at CIP for nearly 7 years, starting out as a student advisor. My passion really is helping students to find that end result and have a positive experience going toward that end result, whatever that looks like. Everybody has a different one, and everybody has a path forward, helping to kind of get through those challenges, celebrate those successes. I love it. Brings me a lot of energy. My background is in music education and special education, and am happy to continue being here and to continue working with students both from high school and college age. So on that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Misty as well. Go ahead, Misty.
Hi, I am Misty Wagner. I am the summer program coordinator and also the head student advisor here at CIP Long Beach. I have spent my entire professional career in special education, started off as a teacher, and now I've been here at college internship program for 2 years and have loved every minute of it. I love helping people meet their long-term goals and transition from, coming out of high school into their long-term goals of gaining careers and finishing degrees. It's very motivating and makes me enjoy this even more. So I'm excited to have some time this summer with you all, and thank you for allowing me to be the summer program coordinator. All right, so I'm going to kick it off with what a sample day looks like. So you'll see that every student will get to enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner with staff. We're going to kick off the day with a light breakfast and their morning meetup in cohorts, so our small groups. In these meetings, we conduct quick HALT charts, which are assessing how hungry someone is, the level of anger or anxiety, loneliness, and tiredness, so we know how to best support them throughout the day. We're going to review the schedule during that time and review any rules for the activities that we're doing that day. And just setting those clear expectations. Each morning incorporates a lesson, and our curriculum topics are going to be shared on the next slide, combined with an interactive activity. After lunch, there may be an activity or time for the students to return to the hotel and shower if needed, kind of relax and recharge. We all need that. We're on the go quite a bit over the summer. After dinner, the students will participate in another activity and return to the hotel usually around 9 p.m. At this time, the students are brought together in their cohorts to discuss the great parts of their day, or as we call it, the cherry, and maybe something they wish would have been different, which would be the pit of their day. At this time, we also give medication reminders for the evening routines, and we also initiate any of those routines that need to be completed for the day. Our curriculum topics, we have quite a few. So you see here, we have a lot of social curriculum. So we have the social skills skits, we have friendship and fun, social media safety, bullying. We also cover things like budget, high school versus college, person-centered planning, volunteer opportunities, and just, really getting out of the community and exploring. We try to match our curriculum with an activity or an experience. For example, our Wellness and Nutrition Day, the students will participate in yoga on the bluff and use their teaching on nutrition to plan for dinner, talent show, party in the evening.
All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the accommodations here. This is a little bit different. If you've attended the program in years past, we have a few who have. You're familiar with staying at Cal State Long Beach in the dorms. This year, because Cal State Long Beach did not have their dorms open for summer program due to COVID, we were able to secure a spot at the Great Wolf Lodge in Garden Grove, California. So over near the heart of everything with the theme parks and the cool restaurants and everything like that. So we're really, really excited to be there. There's a lot of action-packed activities there in Great Wolf Lodge alone, as far as a lot of good people watching. We will have a day where we do their water slide pictured here. And we'll go through that in a little bit, but we do have 2 beds per room. Each student, of course, has their own bed. There's a large bathroom and there's a kitchenette. So actually they're able to, if there's leftover food from dinner, if they want to hold snacks in their fridge, they can do so. And it's a great way to just kind of have everything that you need right there in one place. There you can see a couple of pictures here. This is representative of the rooms they'll be staying in. So they'll have a bed to themselves, and then they also have a little table and a couch area. So if they want to spend some time having a conversation with others, gather with their cohort for dinner. These are things, or maybe for their light breakfast, they can have a breakfast together. But it's a beautiful space, a lot of room for them to spread out. We will be having, and I didn't say this on the last slide, but we will be having a lesson on laundry. And the laundromat is just around the corner. So we will be gathering laundry to do a lesson on how to separate your clothing out, you know, how much soap do you use, going through all of those things, and of course, folding laundry as well. So that's just around the corner from the Great Wolf Lodge. Go ahead, Misty.
It's a beautiful facility. I think that you all are going to enjoy being there for sure. All right, so you all are going to be staying overnight. So we will have staff overnight. There will be 2 staff members at the hotel to assist students with any needs throughout the late night hours. All right. We do ask and have the expectation that lights are out by 11. Overnight staff will conduct 1 nightly check. So they're going to go around, make sure everybody's settled, completed their routines, and is ready to relax and sleep after a busy day. There is a 24-hour emergency phone number for students and families to access for emergencies. So our phone number is 562-519-2663, and you're going to get this information as well in a follow-up email.
Yep, we will also have this information at the front desk when you sign in at our front table. So if this isn't programmed in your phone or you missed it in the email coming in, we'll have this all there for you at the front too, so you can program it in at that time. All right. So where does the programming take place? If we're staying in the Great Wolf Lodge and the CIP Center is, you know, a short 20-minute drive away, where are we having our programming? And that's a great question. Where we're having our programming is a variety of places. So we will be doing a number of our curriculum sessions at the Great Wolf Lodge. They have breakout spaces. They have great outdoor spaces for us to meet with our cohorts and to really engage with each other there at the lodge. There are days throughout our program that we will be driving to the CIP Center and spending our day at the CIP Center doing our curriculum and our activities there. We'll talk about what some of those activities are going to be in a few slides here, but we have such a beautiful space. You can see a snapshot of it here. If you've been to the center, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, it's a beautiful, bright space for us to spread out and to have a good time. We will take a tour of the CIP Long Beach Center while we're here too, so that students can see the apartments and they can kind of see the general Long Beach area where CIP is located. In Garden Grove, as well as here in Long Beach, it's activity packed as far as what's around us. So in Garden Grove and here by the beach, we have a lot of parks, a lot of recreational opportunities to just go out and play kickball together and things like that, which will be really fun. There's tons of beaches, of course, we're in Long Beach. So we'll be doing activities at the beach that range from free yoga to beach cleanups for community service. So we'll be at the beach quite a lot and be ending with a bonfire there. So I'm excited to be able to spend some time around the area here.
All right, so the check-in day, day one. Families are going to be given a check-in time between 3 and 5, and this is going to be communicated to each family in addition to the recording of this webinar, 2-week schedule of events, and other forms and waivers via email. So be looking out for that, probably I think on Monday, correct, Crystal?
Correct.
All right. So upon arrival on the first day, families will register with the coordinator, that will be me, and supporting staff before moving into the student rooms. And so we are really lucky to have our own floor there. So we'll all kind of be going up and getting set up. So students will meet after that, after the check-in, they're going to meet at the hotel patio at 5:15, and we are jumping right in. We're getting started right away. So what is on our agenda? Kind of some icebreakers, introducing ourselves to one another. You're going to be introduced to your roommate and your cohort, so your small group. We're going to review kind of what the program schedule is, what the plans are, kind of hit those highlights, review our safety procedures and communication expectations. And of course, one of my favorite things, sitting down and eating a meal together. We're going to have a delicious dinner. So what do you need to bring? This is questions that we get quite often from summer program. What do you need? Well, you got to have a laptop, the laptop charger. We need a cell phone, right? Got to have a cell phone, and we'll be making sure that you're plugging in and saving that emergency phone number for sure. Charging wires for all your electronic devices, a flash drive. We suggest a beach towel, hat, sunglasses, sunscreen. We are in Southern California. It is sunny all the time, and it just kind of helps protect you and make you more comfortable. Any personal hygiene products, sneakers, spending money of $150. We are suggesting having a prepaid Visa gift card and cash, because some places here in Southern California are going to be cash only, but at the Great Wolf Lodge, they are a cash-free facility. So any spending money that they will need there will need to be via a credit card or a debit card or a Visa gift card. We need medication and over-the-counter medication for 2 weeks, masks, and sanitizer. So that's all what the students are going to have. So from parents, what do we need? We need signed waivers if your child is a minor. We need airport information as well. So medication. All students need to bring a 2-week supply of their medications. Medications must be stored in a MediSet. One of the common questions that we do get is, can the student bring their medication in bottles? No, it has to be in a MediSet. Students are expected to self-medicate as prescribed and hold on to their medication. So they must be able to administer their own medication. We cannot do that for them. If the students have a midday medication, please let staff know so we can provide assistance with managing the medication. During the summer session, staff will offer reminders to students if needed. Staff will trust students if they say they have taken their medication. Staff does not watch anyone take their medication. The college internship program cannot make students take medication. However, if a failure to take medication places the student's health in severe danger or affects their behavior in a seriously adverse manner, the students may not be allowed to remain in the program. All right, so checkout day. We got over check-in day, so checkout day. Students will be working with a CIP staff member to pack their belongings, and CIP staff member will conduct a final sweep of the room prior to the departure. So we're going to assist in making sure nothing's left behind. Students will eat breakfast and share final farewells with the new friends they've made and the summer staff. And families will be assigned a pickup time between 10 and 12. We're going to be assigning this in the same email that you will get the time for check-in day. And you will get to meet a CIP staff member to review the final assessment. And the pickup location's the same place, Great Wolf Lodge.
Okay, now for the fun stuff. All right, let's talk about some of the memorable activities that we have scheduled. This is not a comprehensive list, and some of these things, I'll give a disclaimer, are subject to change, but they should not change. The things that may cause them to change are if any things changed within the location that we're going. For example, if they changed their opening hours from a Friday to Sunday and we've scheduled their activity for Thursday, we may choose something in the area there that's comparable. So I don't anticipate that happening, but I always want to let you know, especially nowadays when things are opening up a little bit more, there's some things changing for businesses as we go through the next couple months. So we'll be cognizant of that and we'll communicate any changes in the schedule with you. Some of the activities that we're really excited about and have singled out here are a private watch party at the movie theater. Long Beach Harbor Cruise. This is a 45-minute cruise through the harbor of Long Beach. It departs down by the Aquarium of the Pacific, which we'll also be visiting on the same day. And it's a great way to see Long Beach through a different lens. So to see it from the water looking in. Nobody will be forced to go on the boat if they have concerns about going on the boat with motion sickness or things like that. But if there are any of these activities that stand out to you that you might already foresee that, we can definitely make sure that a staff is there to have a fun activity on land too, there at the Lighthouse Park right next door to it. The Aquarium of the Pacific is also some place that we will be visiting. Some of you who may have been here a couple of years ago for summer program, the aquarium picture here is looking a little different. They did some major renovations and it looks so cool. It's like a really great landmark of downtown Long Beach. We will also be going to the arcade and bowling, of course. We always have to have some video games mixed in there, right? So that's exciting. We also in Long Beach on the bluff, so overlooking the ocean, every day of the week at 11 o'clock, they offer free yoga on the bluff. Many people attend. They just spread out all over the grass and they do yoga together for an hour. And it's a really lovely experience. Some people just sit there and look over the water. It's very calming. So we're excited to have that be part of our wellness day. On the tail end of our wellness day, we are doing a talent show here at the Long Beach Center. So I want to encourage you, if you are a student on the call or if you're a parent on the call, to start thinking now of what you would like to bring as your talent, what you would like to share with everybody else here in the center. And if you need any props or anything like that, just let us know. We're excited about that. Everybody has a talent hidden in there. You will not be required to perform, but we're really excited to share with each other. On one of the days, we will be spending our time at the Great Wolf Lodge. They have a water park there. And while our daily rooms do not have a water park pass, and we will be out and about, all over the Southern California area here, we did set aside a day to get water park passes. So we will have a day where students can go down and take the water slides and just hang out there and have a good time. Along with that, we'll be going to an Angels versus Oakland A's baseball game there at Angel Stadium, which is actually quite close to Great Wolf Lodge. So we'll be heading over there to catch a baseball game. Should be beautiful weather. I think the game is at about 7 p.m. So it should be nice and cooling down. Finally, we have Pirates Dinner Adventure. So I don't know if anybody's ever been to the Pirates Dinner Adventure before, or this similar kind of neighbor dinner theater, which is medieval times. But Pirates Dinner Adventure is really cool. Basically, you go in and there's a huge boat in the middle of the room, a big ship. They do dancing, they do acrobatics, they do acting. It's a very interactive experience, and it's all while you're eating dinner. We are aware of dietary restrictions, and we have been made aware of what accommodations are needed there. And we have already taken care of that with the theater. So if you need to double check with me and make sure I have the correct accommodations and that the food will work for you on that, please let me know in advance and we can connect on that. Or when you connect with Misty, we can talk about that and make sure that you're all set. But that should be a lot of fun. We also will be kayaking. The picture here is us kayaking in the ocean. We won't be kayaking in the ocean. We'll be kayaking in the canals near Long Beach. So no waves, very calm, but a really relaxing and fun activity. We will also be heading down to Bolsa Chica State Beach for a bonfire and a cookout. And just spending some time on the beach. Likely we'll get to catch a little bit of the beginning of sundown before we head back to the hotel. But it's a lovely place to be. And we like to go there for our full year program as well, is to head down there and celebrate things at the beach. We always have to have one person staking it out from like 5 in the morning. So we'll have to decide which staff member gets nominated. And then we will have one of our own community here teaching an art night as well. He does it quite often during our summer programs, and students always have a great takeaway. So you get to take away your art with you and take something home with you that you created. So we're very excited about all of those events. Like I said, this isn't a comprehensive list, but it's a great list of things that will create memories. And that's what this is all about, the memories and experiences that the students are taking with them. All right, along with that, we're going to be all over the place. So I've listed here a couple of the fun restaurants that we'll be eating at. And we will also be catering foods into Great Wolf Lodge because we will be quite a large group of about 25 to 27 students and staff together. And so we will be doing ordering out from many of these restaurants. A couple here on the list to point out, Hungry as a Wolf is actually a restaurant, a pizza restaurant there in Great Wolf Lodge. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is just down the street, and that is actually like a landmark, I would say, around here. Corner Bakery, we love to order takeout boxes from there. They do great sandwiches, so we'll be doing some takeout lunches from there. And then I was just pointing out to Misty, Sancho's Tacos is just a great taco shop on 2nd Street in Belmont Shore in Long Beach. So a lot of options here. Obviously, this is not a comprehensive list of places that we would be going for restaurants, but what will happen here is students will fill out Google Forms. So we will send them Google Forms every couple of days. We'll work with them on ordering their food for the next few days, and then we'll pick it up if it's something that we're catering in. So they'll be able to choose between a number of entrees that fit within their budget, and to be able to choose things that fit with what they like to eat, as well as the dietary restrictions that they have. There'll be a number of options to fit within their budget there. Let me go ahead and move us on here to the college visit. So we always have one day of our summer program where we visit a college, and typically we do a tour of Cal State Long Beach because that's right where we are. But this year, I'm really excited to be able to tour Chapman University, and appreciate, Andrea, if you're on the call, really appreciate you with this suggestion and connecting us with their tour guides there. That's great. A few things here about Chapman. Obviously, you can see that it's a beautiful campus. They have more than 110 degrees in programs. It's about 15 miles to the beach, not too far at all. Named #1 of 2 most innovative universities in the West by US News and World Report, and they have an active disability services department. So we actually will be taking a tour with their tour guides there at Chapman University, followed by their DSPS disability services coordinator coming out and talking to our group as well about what that looks like to have a successful college experience. But we're excited. I actually have never been to Chapman University, so I'm excited to walk around and check it out. It looks beautiful.
So I know all the parents on here are going to really want to see what your student is doing. What a better way to see that than to see it with a picture. So we do have a smug mug that we use, and it's just a gallery of photos that you will be able to access. And we will send this in an email as well, just to make sure you have this with the password. On top of being able to see all these amazing photos and all the fun activities that we're doing, you're also going to be receiving updates from me as well on the curriculum that was covered, as well as the fun activities our students participated in and the skills students worked on. So you're going to get that update as well on top of these wonderful photos. So what everybody really wants to know, how often are you going to hear from us, and what are you going to be getting? What information? So I'm going to be sending out parent emails every 3 days outlining the activities that took place, the curriculum that was covered, and a brief update on what your student did during that time. I will be your main point of contact. So if there's any issues that arise, anything that you think we need to be aware of, please contact me. I am Misty Wagner. My phone number is here, while also sending out an email again, along with my extension and my email. And remember, if there's an emergency, we do have the emergency phone as well that you will have access to. So each student will be receiving an end of the year evaluation. When you pick them up, we'll be going over this. And we're going to review this with you all during our closing pickup times. So our takeaways, this is what we always like to see. What are we taking away? Well, really it's the memories. That's the most important thing. We're having these memories and the photos that are going to last a lifetime. We're hoping everybody makes some connections. And so friendships that are extended beyond our summer program. We often see that people make these connections, and we'll see that they continue developing friendships past the time of the summer program. Really cool perk is that you can receive college credit from Elms College for the first-time students. We also have the person-centered plans that are just really a personalized roadmap for the future. So it lets you think about, what do you want to do and what are the steps to get there? What does your life look like long-term? And confidence and knowing that you were able to live away from home. Some of you for the first time, some of you, you've done the summer program before. You're able to follow a schedule. You're able to advocate for your needs, and you are ready for the next level of independence. And that's just such a great feeling. And of course, our end of the year program evaluations that just go over the growth and the progress that we've seen.
Okay, so I have been getting a couple questions about this here in the chat, which is great. And I'm trying to answer all of your questions here individually. If I don't get to it, I will get to it when Misty's talking usually. So, or we'll answer at the end here. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the COVID guidelines. Right now, as most of you know, some of you don't, we have had some changes recently in LA County as far as what's required for masks, what's not required for masks. Where are they required? Where are they not required? So these things are subject to change, but I'm going to talk to you today about what we would require for the program as of right now. So I am going to read this. I hate to read off slides, but I am going to read this to you just to make sure that we get all the way through this. It's very important that everybody understands where we're at here, and be able to answer questions that come up as we read through. So all participants are required to adhere to CIP's COVID-19 guidelines, as well as those relevant to the surrounding community in which we operate, including any of those related venues that we will utilize. Guidelines are subject to change. Please remember that. We will not have control if those local guidelines change, but we will follow them. All participants will be required to self-attest to their health on the day of arrival. So when they come in, we will just make sure that everybody is healthy coming into the program, and go through the process there as you arrive. All CIP sponsored and hosted activities utilizing our CIP facilities require the use of masks indoors for those not vaccinated. CIP does not require mask use outdoors, and unvaccinated individuals are encouraged to wear masks outdoors when social distancing cannot sufficiently be maintained, such as prolonged time within large crowds. If mask use is required, mask breaks will be provided on a frequent basis. Participants who are not COVID-19 vaccinated are required to show proof of a negative PCR COVID test conducted no more than 72 hours in advance of arrival. And it is expected that all families follow all applicable required travel guidelines. So with that, we want to, and we just went through this process with our full year students as well, as the requirements for masks and vaccination changed in the last couple of weeks. In our center here, and actually in the Great Wolf Lodge, those who are vaccinated have the choice, and I always will say that as well, to wear masks or not wear masks. I say that because sometimes it can be a little bit unnerving to be the only one wearing a mask, and you may not feel comfortable in that space, even if you are vaccinated. So I encourage you to feel comfortable wearing a mask wherever you'd like to. If you are vaccinated, you do not need to wear that mask indoors. Where you do need to wear a mask, whether you are vaccinated or not vaccinated, is public transportation. So if we're taking the bus somewhere, they likely will require it on the harbor cruise. However, we'll let students know when we get there what the expectation is there. But any public transportation, any airports, these are still required places to wear your mask regardless of vaccination status. If they're not vaccinated, of course, when we're indoors anywhere here, you would be required to wear that mask. But we will, if I know this is probably an area where there's many questions. If it's clear as day, that's excellent, but also happy to go into questions and happy to answer any specifics about that if you have them. Our goal is to keep everybody safe. If it is discovered that a student is COVID positive or they're exhibiting symptoms, they will need to leave the program, and we will connect with you immediately to come pick them up. We want to make sure that they are safe and that everybody else in the program is safe as well. So with that, I know many of you have already voluntarily disclosed vaccination status, which is very helpful. That's kept confidential here, but we appreciate that because that allows us to know how to best support the students in that environment. So thank you so much.
All right, so next steps. What do we do next? If you feel like you would like to have another or an additional conversation with myself, please be sure to email me and I will get back to you. We will be sending out the email on Monday and I'll have my email address on there and we can schedule a time to further discuss any personal questions you may have or need any additional clarification on anything. We also are going to be sending out the Google survey for breakfast items, and it's going to be emailed again out with the recording of the webinar on Monday. And then if we have any waivers, we're going to be sending those out, and please bring those with you on registration day. So that first day, we'll be asking you to hand those over to us. Those again will be sent out with the webinar recordings. So a lot of information coming to you on Monday.
I just realized that I was muted, but now you can hear me. I didn't say much, and what I did say wasn't prolific in any way. So, but I've been answering questions here in the chat, which I'm glad that you've been sending those to me. Hopefully the answers that I'm giving you here are helpful. A couple of the questions that have come up in the chat that may be helpful for everybody here is, whether there will be wake ups in the morning and whether students can set like Great Wolf Lodge, sort of like hotels, to call your phone in the morning and things like that. I'm going to reach out to Great Wolf Lodge and see if they have a wake up service as well, just for those of you that may need to wake up a little bit earlier to take that medication before breakfast on a certain timeline. So I'll reach out and I'll get back to you on that piece. Hopefully I'll be able to send that information to you Monday when I send everything else out. You'll have that all in the packet there. We do provide wake ups and routine support in the morning, however, as part of our schedule too. So we will provide that, and staff will be walking around and making sure that students are getting up and ready and prompting their medications and whatnot. Laura, you had asked, why do students go to bed so late and wake up so early? I had just actually, our Florida Center just got done with their summer program as well. And they had mentioned everybody is just beat at 9 o'clock. So I would imagine 9 o'clock, everybody's going to start retiring for the night anyways and getting a good night's sleep. So that will be 9 o'clock is really when our last thing happens. Our cherry in the pit is typically about a 15-minute discussion. And then students do have free time if they still have a little bit of energy left. But many students will be worn out because we do have a very busy schedule of going around and having some fun activities. So 9 o'clock is probably going to be a...
Yeah. What we typically see is the first few days, people stay up a little bit later. They're really excited. And about that third day, we start seeing everybody kind of settle in and go to bed earlier too. So it's almost like they are able to self-regulate that too and decide that like probably you should get some more sleep. And so it's nice to see.
Yes. I'm seeing a couple of questions come here in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and answer these to the best of my ability. What is the staffing situation during the day? So we have a 1-to-6 ratio. So we will have 4 staff on each shift, 4 staff in the day, 4 staff in the evening, and 2 staff that are staying over at night. So students will be separated into kind of cohorts. So their little group and pods that they'll do their breakout sessions for curriculum, and those cohorts will remain for those curriculum sessions throughout. We'll assign a staff to each of those. So our staff will rotate throughout the day as far as one day may not be the same staff as the day before, but we'll have 4 staff that are leading the charge each day there at the program. Cheryl, do you need to bring our COVID vaccination card? It's always helpful to have it. If you have it, to have that on you. We are not requiring that you submit your vaccination card to us, but always helpful to have it on you, just in case. Caitlin, if a student has a friend that has graduated CIP, will the friend be allowed to visit during the 2-week program? And what does that entail? And what are the rules behind that? That's an excellent question. So there's actually, during the 2-week program, there's no visitors. The program is the program, and it's intended for you to spend that 2 weeks socializing here with your other peers that are in the program and having a great time that way. So we don't have family visitors, student visitors to the program. But I know that if you're in the area after the program or before the program, you may be able to connect with them as well prior to the start and after the end of the program. I hope that helps answer your question. And I know that there will be specific questions in that, like Misty said, if you have specific questions in years past, that might be, I'm celebrating my birthday. Is it okay that my parents take me out to dinner? So if you have specific questions like that, please reach out to Misty and connect with her, and she can help to either answer the question for you or to help plan with you what that would look like. Eric is asking, can you generally describe the student population? So the number of students, percentage of boys and girls, the age range, geographic. We have students coming from the immediate Southern California area, all the way to international students joining us. So a wide spread of students that are joining us. We have 23 students that are joining the program this year. Percentage of boys and girls, I would say that it's about a 35-65 split this year. So there are more boys than girls this year, which is fairly typical for the program, but it's about I'd say about a 35-65 split. Age range, all of our students are in high school. Generally, they're in the middle ranges from about 15 to 17, 16 to 18 in there. But I would say generally the 16 to 17 range is pretty common. Allison, you had asked, can they do laundry? We will be doing, like I said, the laundromat is just around the corner from Great Wolf Lodge. They don't have laundry on site, but we will be able to, and it's built into our programming to go over and have a day of laundry. So we will be able to. If there's a reason why they need to do laundry before or after or in between that curriculum, we can take a look at that on an individual basis. But we do have time set aside in their schedule to go do laundry. Let's see.
Crystal, Will has his hand up.
Hi, Will.
I typed a few questions in the chat.
Okay.
So I said, I'm going to try and read them to you. First off, one is, what time do we go back to the hotel? Late.
Typically, you're going back to the hotel, depending on the activity, you're going back to the hotel between about 7 and 9 p.m. Some of the activities, you'll be at the hotel beforehand, kind of resting and taking it easy. And then for example, the Pirates Dinner Adventure doesn't start until 7 o'clock. So that'll be a little bit later night when we arrive back at the hotel.
Where's the Pirates Dinner going to be?
Oh, it's in Buena Park, which is right next to Garden Grove. So it actually is not far from Great Wolf Lodge at all.
I see. It's in Orange County. I see.
Yep, exactly, the Anaheim area.
And also I have two close friends, and with people with like autism, I don't want anyone wanting to. I don't want anyone wanting to torture me, and especially if they have less social boundaries than I do, because and I have to deal with that with someone at school, one of my classmates.
I'm sorry to hear that you've dealt with that, Will, and I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, harassment, bullying, anything of that kind is not tolerated and won't be tolerated. So just want you to know that, and to feel that that's something that we will address right away if that's something that you bring to our attention or that we observe. Okay.
And by the way, I'm vaccinated, by the way.
Most excellent. I appreciate you sharing that. Laura, that's okay that you have these questions. That's all right. So what rules do you have about electronics? So the rules that we have about electronics is that during the scheduled events, there really should be no usage unless it's part of the curriculum that they're using their computer. But there shouldn't be texting on phones. There shouldn't be, basically they're here to enjoy the time, to socialize with the people that are here with them, not those on the other line of the text. But they will be pretty much out and about the entire time, and there's not a lot of time to use electronics. When there is downtime, they're welcome to get on that and to make a phone call if they want to and things like that. But it won't be, there's not a whole lot of downtime opportunities to get kind of super wrapped up and isolated with the electronics. Roberto, yes. All staff will be aware. And actually, as I made reservations for the Pirates Dinner Adventure and whatnot, they are also aware. So I do want, Misty, I'll have you connect with Roberto just to make sure that we know everything we need to, and to make sure that we are aware, all of us who are working with your student. Thank you. Eric, we will have opportunities that are with the entire group and those that are with the cohorts. So some of our activities, so for example, our curriculum, when we do our curriculum review and those more like kind of classes or sessions, will be broken out in our cohorts because it's much easier to do the activities for those sessions in the smaller groups. But we also will have large group activities. Cohorts will meet with each other at the activities. So the only time that we're splitting into those cohorts is when we're doing that active curriculum engagement and kind of lessons. So cohorts will stick together. And when we need to go out as cohorts, we will. But we will have plenty of activities where we are all together doing the activity. Yeah. So they won't be stuck to just having 6 people in their immediate sphere. We'll all be engaging with each other for sure. All right. I think I'm catching everything. If I missed something here, please let me know. You do have the power here to unmute yourself. So if I missed something, please let us know or raise your Zoom hand. and we'll get to you. Like I said, if you have a more personal question, something that is personalized to your student or your situation, I know I've answered some of those there in the chat, but if you can reach out to Misty and schedule a time to chat with her, she's happy to reach out to you as well. Is there a complete packing list? So more complete than we showed here on the slides. We can help provide a packing list to you. As you look through that slide, Allison, you're going to see the kind of basics of what you need there. The closed-toed shoes, something we will do a couple of hikes. So you would just want to make sure that you have the proper footwear. The sunscreen is huge in Southern California. So making sure that there's sunscreen. We can definitely help to get you a more specialized list than that for sure, but take a look through there and then any other clothes that the students would like to bring. I always, and I say this to our full year students too, I always say pack light. So with the laundromat just around the corner, we'll be happy to go do some laundry too, but try not to move into your Great Wolf Lodge accommodations for longer than 2 weeks. So be able to be movable there. So if a student wants to pack sometimes when we go away to summer camp, it's helpful to pack like maybe a couple photos, or we want to pack something, maybe a stuffed animal, or something like that, that just kind of like keeps us grounded during that time away from home and things. So packing those is a fine idea. I would just be careful of how many of those personal items that you bring and have around your hotel room there. But yeah, we can connect with you, Allison, and provide a more comprehensive list, maybe based on that, those activities that we have going on as well. Elizabeth, can the student bring food items to the program that they can eat in their kitchenette just in case they don't like or couldn't eat from the predetermined restaurants? If you want to bring some snacks to put in your kitchenette, that's fine. It's a small, like a small fridge. It's not large. But if you want to bring a couple of snacks that suit you well and you're not sure, so sometimes it's hard to find snacks. If you have dietary restrictions, it's hard to find snacks that you can eat all the time, or if you need to have a snack every couple of hours, that's fine to bring some of those things. I wouldn't do a full grocery list, of course, but bringing a couple of snacks and putting those in your kitchenette sounds just fine to me. That's a great question, Elizabeth. Let me check. I think as part of the kitchenette, there is a microwave. If I remember right, I've been here a couple of times. If I remember right, there's a microwave as part of that, but I'll double check so I can.
They absolutely have a microwave. I remember this because the signs don't overcook the popcorn.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right. So there is a way to pop some popcorn bags and things like that. We also will have some snacks there in the staff room for those times when maybe we're just all chilling and it's a nice time to pop some popcorn and put a movie on the TV when you're winding down at night or something. So excellent. So Eric, this is a great question. What is the spending money needed? So many of the students' meals are included in their cost of programming. So they're included in their budget that we already take care of. With that, what we recommend is that students are bringing $100 in spending money for that 2 weeks. Is typically good to be able to get some of those creature comforts, but also, if you, let's say you forgot sunscreen or you lost your sunscreen and you need to buy some more, you just have that money to fall back on. One thing that Misty was mentioning in a previous slide, and that I'll elaborate on a little bit here, is that Great Wolf Lodge has reached out to us to let us know that they are going to remain completely cash free. So while students are typically bringing $100 cash, you may want to invest half of that or a portion of that into like a prepaid Visa card to send with them so that they're able to access those things there in the Great Wolf Lodge. If they want to grab a snack from the snack bar or something like that, they would be able to do that without spending that cash. With that, they do have prepaid Visa cards. You can find them at any grocery store. That would be a way to go. And also those are reloadable. So it gives you a little bit of freedom as well as the parent that if the student is in a situation where they need a little bit of cash and quick, we will budget with them, of course. But if there's a situation where they would need that, you could always update and reload their Visa card so that they have that. It creates a little bit of a simpler process. So please keep that in mind. Eric, I saw you unmute.
Yeah. So for example, the arcade, are they giving a budget of what they can from the program that they can use, or does that come out of their spending money and
Yeah,
type
so
of
that
thing?
actually will be, so for the arcade, we've budgeted a certain amount for the students to use at the arcade or bowling. If they went over that amount, they would be using out of their personal spending money. But we will, when we arrive there, it's a round one arcade. So you actually go in and you buy the little, I don't know if you've been there before, but you buy a little gaming card, and we'll put a predetermined amount onto that card. If they want to go, spend more than that, it would be coming out of their $100 spending money. Yeah. But many of those activities are already planned into, and lunches and things like that are already planned into their budget that we would put on our credit cards. Their spending money would be above and beyond.
A lot of the students like to pick up little souvenirs as well at some of the larger attractions that we do. And so we'll see that and we talk about the budgeting piece for that, but that is something that they do enjoy doing and having those takeaways.
Yeah, we
help
will.
with memories.
A couple of favorites are we will be going to downtown Disney one of the days for dinner. And sometimes there's trinkets around, if somebody collects the Disney, I can't even remember what they're called, but they're little Disney characters that are collectibles or pins and things like that. Those are typically where a student will dive into and budget some of their personal spending to pick up a pin at Disney and downtown Disney or something like that. So there is, I hesitate saying this, but there is a Build-A-Bear factory on the bottom floor of the Great Wolf Lodge. So I would imagine a lot of questions about that too. It looks like a lot of fun, but we've budgeted some money in for them to do the activities there that are present at Great Wolf. But most of our activities are going to be out of that space as well. Let's see, Apple Pay, that's a great card. Elizabeth, I don't even know how Apple Pay works. I might have to do a little bit of research there to make sure that I give you the right answer. But let me look into that and I'll get back to you very soon. Cheryl, the students are not going to the Queen Mary. The Queen Mary actually, when we booked all of our events, was not open yet to be booked for visitors. So with that, they will be down near there. They'll be doing the harbor cruise. They'll see the Queen Mary from the outside. And we'll be in the general vicinity for sure. The harbor cruise goes right next to it on the outside, but at the time they had not opened up the Queen Mary yet. So that was a sacrificial activity. Unfortunately, we needed to let that one go. But they should be able to see it. And again, if you're in the area before or after the program, might be a good place to go down and just walk around. So everything's opening up kind of slowly, right? We're starting to see things open up more that have been closed for a really long time. So some of those activities that may not have been available in the last month or so are even opening up more and more now. No worries, Eric. Will the full year program be described as part of the discussion of college versus the career? Yeah, we will actually be talking about the full year program throughout. It's a great way, especially when we're here at the center, I might even ask a couple of our full year alumni students who live in the area if they want to stop by and say hello. But yeah, we will definitely go over that. Part of the college versus career as well. We will go into what it means to go straight into career and how that doesn't eliminate, your need for education and going to college for some of those things and how you connect those. So if you go to college, knowing that you want to make sure you've got your career in mind when you choose those classes. So we'll kind of connect all of the dots there for sure. And throughout the program, we'll talk about how that relates to the full year program. Our summer program is somewhat of a snapshot, obviously condensed. If all of our full year students were going out kayaking and to Pirates Dinner Adventure and things like that every week, they would be beat by the end of the week, not enough energy for school. So, but we will talk about it and and everybody will get a little bit of a taste. Am I hitting all the questions here? I think I am. Okay, just scrolling through. Excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up if there's not any other questions. Like I said, some of you I responded back in the chat to reach out to Misty for a personalized discussion there, and she'll be happy to connect with you. On Monday, some of the things that you will receive from me is the recording of this webinar, any waivers for activities that may need to be filled out. You'll also receive another copy of the handbook just to be fresh in your email. I know that each of you, when you applied, were sent that through our national team as well, but I want to make sure you have another copy. I also will send the 2-week schedule as a PDF, so you'll be able to see fully what that looks like. And then the arrival and departure times. So some of you have asked about special arrival and departure times. Please reach out to us with those details so we can answer to you specifically there. But you'll get a lot of information from us on Monday, and hang tight, and then we will schedule those meetings with Misty. If you have any additional questions after that, it's okay. I'm coming in here one more second. I see 2 more questions coming through, and then I'll wrap us up. Budget some time for me. Oh, Richard, that's a great question to call Misty and schedule a time to talk about the personal situation there with Anna and how to address that piece. She can walk through that with you and go through the schedule and maybe find some time there. Oh, for the personal laptops. So one of the major activities that they'll be doing on their personal laptop is building their PCP, their person-centered plan. So each of our students in our full year program and our summer program creates a person-centered plan where they outline their vision board, the people and the things and the places that support them, their strengths, their challenges, obstacles to overcome, and most importantly, their goals for the future. So we work with them extensively during the program on building a basic person-centered plan. And that will be done as a slide. It's done in like a slideshow format. Each of them creates their own. And so they'll be using their laptop for activities like that. When we do our lessons, they'll have activities on their laptops that they'll be doing.
I don't have a personal laptop. Can I ask a quick question about that?
Yes.
What type of programs will be required? Because he has a very basic internet-based laptop.
Sure.
It won't support anything more than, being able to go on Chrome or whatnot. So I just want to make sure that whatever I send, it's sufficient.
Yeah, you said it does get on Chrome or it doesn't get on Chrome?
It does. So
yeah, would be able to use like Google Drive.
Yes.
They have Google Slides on there. We can definitely arrange to have it through that.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up here to be respectful of everybody's time. I hope that this was helpful to you, that you learned some more information. And again, stay tuned for Monday. We are very excited to have you here and excited that you joined us tonight. So thank you so much for your time and for being here with us. Have an excellent weekend, a safe weekend, and we will talk to you early next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's nice to see you, Caitlin.